Hi guys, this is Mitch with FinePoint CGI, and today we're going to talk about AdMob inside of Godot. Now this is an exciting tutorial because it allows you to monetize your Android apps. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and talk about how to make a banner ad and how to make a reward video and how to get that reward callback to actually fire off your reward so that way you can reward the player for watching your videos. So that's what I have in store for you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we are sitting here in Godot. I have a new fresh project built right here, ready for us to get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up Firefox and we're going to navigate to GitHub and go to the Shin-Nil Godot Android AdMob plugin. And I'm going to have you guys go ahead and go to the Releases tab, and I'll leave a link to this in the description below so you guys can go ahead and click it and download it. But you just go ahead and click on the version 4.1.1, and you click on that. And you're going to see here, this is the version we want to download. So if we go ahead and click on this zip file right here, click, you'll see that it will come up with our AdMob. Now we're going to go ahead and download it. You'll see that it's started to download right there. And then we're going to open it up and extract it. So I already have done that here. Let me put this into the correct location here. So this is what it's going to look like when we go ahead and extract it. And you can see here we have our library and our plugin. Now, first what we need to do is we need to come into our project in Godot, and we need to install our Android build template. Now, if you haven't done this before, I will leave a link in the description below, and also I will ping it up in the corner here to go watch my custom exports in Godot tutorial, which I believe we go over doing notifications in Godot. So you can just do the first portion of that, and then you'll be able to come back here and do this. So if you click install, it's going to go ahead and compile and extract all of that. So if we actually right click and open in File Manager, you'll see when it opens it, we'll have a little Android thing here. So if we double click on that and we open up our plugins, you'll see that this plugins folder is empty. So if we actually go out to our AdMob and we grab our AdMob plugin and we copy this and we paste it into here, you'll see now that's there. And then if we go back and we open up our AdMob lib folder and we copy that, and then we go back into our AdMob main page, so RES main page, and we paste that in here. Now when we click on Godot, you'll see suddenly we have an Android folder, an AdMob lib folder with our GD and our icon, and you'll see that we have an Android with plugins. So first, what we can do is we can go into our export settings. So if we click export, we add in our Android. Now that we've opened this, what we can do is we can come down here to use custom build and turn on Godot AdMob. Now what that's going to do is it's going to include, I guess, AdMob with your Godot when it compiles it. And using custom build, as I've explained in previous videos, is it will tell Godot to compile your plugins library into your Godot executable. So that way you can call out to Java code. So what we're going to do is we'll scroll down, and you'll see here's our unique name. Now you may want to specify that, but right now, since we're doing our test application, we don't need to worry about that. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a portrait app. I would prefer it to be a portrait app anyway. So if I scroll down, you'll see that there's a debug key store, user, release. We don't need any of that. What we do need is we need a network state, because it has to go out to the internet to get the AdMob. And if we scroll down, we also need internet, which is right here. And again, the reason why is so it can go out to the internet and get the AdMob data back. So what we can do now is we can hit close and we can open up a new user interface. Now I'm using a user interface in this case, but you guys can use whatever you'd like in your project. So I'll just use a user interface. I'm going to right click, add a child node, and I will add a AdMob. And you will see, if we open up the code here, we don't have any compiler errors, so that's good news. But something that we're going to need to do is we will need to restart Godot. And the reason why is because Godot can be a little finicky on this. So I'm going to go ahead and restart Godot. So go ahead and close it and then reboot it. And I'll see you in about 4 seconds. Just as a side note, since I created a new scene, it's going to go ahead and ask me to save. So I'm going to do that. So I will call this AdMob test scene. And I will save that. And then it'll close it. So I'm going to go ahead and reboot this. And then we can go from there. Okay, now that Godot has been rebooted, what we can do is we can open up our AdMob test scene, and you'll see that this has a little icon right here, and that's how you know you did good. That's how you know it's good to go. So, what you'll notice over here on the right is there is a banner ID, an interstitial ID, and a reward ID. Now, normally you would set this to be whatever your actual ID is. Now, I can't really show you what that would be, but what you can do is you can go out here and you can go to your ad. So what we're going to do is we'll Google search AdMob test ads. We'll go to enabling test ads, and you'll see here that we have different IDs. Now these IDs just so happen to correlate with these IDs here. Now I will show you banner ad, paste that in, come over here, interstitial video. We will put an interstitial video, and reward ad is right here. And I will paste that in as well. So now you can see that we have set up our banner IDs and our banner ads. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping here. And we'll go into our project settings. We will set our, let's see, our window size to be 600 by 1024, and the reason why is just because I want it to be that way, and I want it to be a keep height, so that way it keeps the height of the screen for when I export this out to Android. Finally, what we need to do is we also need to tell it to orientate to portrait, and we will close. And now if I change this to be the correct size, you can see right here. And now I will add in a script, and it'll be a GD script, and we will call it, let's see, I like to call this scene controller. And I will call this scene controller. And what scene controller is it's the thing that controls the scene and controls how everything operates. Now, what we can do is we can say func ready. So on ready, I want this to load. So $AdMob dot load reward video. Now I'm not going to show you how to do an interstitial video. You can go ahead and do that yourself. I don't believe that they're moral or okay to really use, because you don't reward the user by watching. You just interrupt them and force them to watch an ad. So if you guys want to learn how to do that, you can go ahead and just follow this similarly, but I don't enjoy those kinds of content. And then let's go ahead and create some buttons here. So add a child node button. And then let's paste a second button here. Or I guess let's finish up the first button. So we'll drag this in like so. And then we will duplicate this button, drag it down. We'll call this banner ad. And we will call this reward video. And then what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and add in another child node, and we'll add a text label. And we will call this reward amount. And we'll put it down here. And we'll go ahead and scale this up a little bit. Now, I know that there's a way to scale this up by adding a custom font and all of that, but to be honest, I'm too lazy to do that right offhand. So what we'll do is we will apparently not scale this, because I don't know how to scale to save my life. There, we'll just say something like, I don't know, something like that. Oh, that's really big. Let's make that a little smaller. Like I said, it's not ideal, but it's just more of a demo, so I'm just going to show you kind of how it works. And we'll move this over here. And then we'll duplicate this rich text label. We'll drag it over a tiny bit, and we'll put the text as 0. All right. So now I know, again, this is not exactly ideal or perfect, but it's not the point of the video. The video is to show you guys just how this all operates. So what we're going to do is we will hook in a node here on button press down. We'll double click that, put it in the control node, reward video. We will go ahead and do on button down, go to control, and you'll see that here are my two banner ads. So what we'll do here are my two buttons. So what we'll do here is we will go $AdMob dot load banner and then $AdMob dot show banner. And the thing about the banners is that they need to load. They can load immediately. You don't need to load them prior to executing them. Whereas with reward videos, you do. So if I go $AdMob dot show reward video. Now, this would work, but we need to tell the user or tell the program that we have given it a reward, right? So we've given them a reward for watching this video. So what you need to do is you need to come down to our AdMob and look at its signals. So you can see here on the node signals. You can check when a banner fails to load, a banner is loaded, an interstitial is closed, interstitial failed to load, interstitial has been loaded, a reward video closed or rewarded, a reward failed to load. So you can get a lot of really good information from them just from this little bit here. So you could actually say rewarded. Now let's go ahead and connect that to our control node. And you'll see here's our reward. And what we'll do is we will create a variable up here, var REWA reward is equal to 0 right now, right? And what we'll say is reward plus equals 1. And then we need to tell the text to update. So we go $, rich text label 2 dot text is equal to, let's cast this as a string and then do reward. All right. And what that should do is it should increment it by that text or by that value of 1. So they get 1 coin for successfully watching the reward. So now that that's done, after all that setup, we still have some setup to go, unfortunately. So what we need to do is, I know it's a lot, but promise me it's totally worth it once you get there. So what you need to do now that we finally have all of this in place is we need to tell our Android manifest to be correct. So if we go into our build and we go into our Android manifest and we open that up, you can see here in Firefox or Visual Studio, you can see this is your Android manifest. Now I have a chunk of data that I have to put in here. That's my application information, and I like to put it here, right here. But you can put it anywhere in this file and it should work as long as it's inside of this little application bracket here. It should be okay. But I'm going to put it here because I like it to be there. Now, in this case, we need to use a, I'm going to use an example ID, but you guys can put in your actual ID here and it will build with your ID. So let me go grab that and I will paste it in. So we'll paste that in. And I will leave this for you guys, but basically this is a test google.com GMS ads application ID and then the Android value. Now, if you go ahead and you look at AdMob, and I'm going to do a future video later that actually uses a real AdMob ID and everything, but this is just the basics on how AdMob operates, and then we'll go from there. So now that we have this, we go ahead and save this. And again, you can put your application ID here and you can go ahead and put your Android value here. Now these are, like I said, the test ones. Same thing with the AdMob information over here. These are all test ones. You don't necessarily need, or you do, I guess you do need to put your actual IDs here when you create your application. So what we're going to do is we are going to export. So project, export, Android. and make sure that you have this all correct. So custom build is on, Godot AdMob is on. I have this set to portrait, and I have network state is on, and internet is on. So now if I go ahead and export this, so let's peel up a few to my documents, and I will replace my previous AdMob tutorial APK. So we're gonna let that export, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my phone. So I'll be right back. All right, so now that it's done downloading, or not downloading, now that it's done compiling, what we need to do is we need to turn on or plug in our phone, go to file transfer, so that file transfers, and then we can open up our documents folder, and then we can go out to our AdMob tutorial. You'll see that this one was compiled today at 1:19. So if we copy this and we go to our Pixel 3, in my case I have a Pixel 3, go to my internal storage and I paste it and replace. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and I'm going to switch over to my phone real quick so that I can show you guys how to do this. Okay, so now that I am in my phone, I'm going to swipe up, and I'm going to go to Files, into my Files, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to go to Internal Storage. Now I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to hit AdMob Tutorial APK. So you'll see that's going to go ahead and download and install that. And you'll see AdMob Tutorial 2 was installed. So if I go ahead and hit Home, and I flick this up, you'll see I already have a previous one here. So if I just uninstall that real quick, you can see if I click on AdMob Tutorial, you'll see that it doesn't work. Now, why doesn't it work? Well, the reason why is because if we switch back over to our computer, we never set our project up properly. And what I mean by that is if you come over here and you look, we never set up our main project, if I remember correctly. So let me see. Or at least that's what I believe is wrong. It's always hard for me to find where that's at. So you can see here, our main scene is empty. So if we click that and we choose our... So you can see our main scene was never set. So I went ahead and set it. I hit close. Now let's go ahead and rebuild this project. So export project, AdMob, yep. Let her build. All right, so now if I go ahead and I click on my documents folder and I open up my internal storage, I come over here, so I copy it, and then I go ahead and I paste it. All right. Now back on the phone, if I click on AdMob Tutorial, I hit install, you'll see it's going to overwrite my previous one. I hit open, and there we go. So now if I click on banner, the top one, it does show a banner. If I click the bottom, you'll notice that nothing happens. Now why is that? But if I close it, and I reopen it, you'll notice that if I click this, now the reward video starts playing.
Nice job loading it. I'm gonna go fire the reward call back for you.
All right, so you can see that after all of that, we do have our thing, and if we click on X, you'll see our reward amount has been incremented. Hey guys, so this is Editor Mitch jumping in here real quick. Something I forgot to cover was if you have a banner and you have a reward video that you want to display, you can't display both of them at the same time. That's something that I was alluding to earlier, but I never actually talked about it. But basically what you need to do is you need to hide your banner here before you show your reward video or any interstitial videos or anything like that. You need to do it here like this, or it doesn't work. You need to hide your banner. And again, if you want to do an interstitial video, you just basically do reward video, but with interstitial video. So you can just go, you know, $AdMob.load interstitial video, right? And then when you want to show it, you just do the same thing. So you just say like, you know, $AdMob.show interstitial. if I can spell. And that will show an interstitial video instead. So anyway, I just wanted to jump in before the video cut out so that you guys were aware that I did need to add this so that I can do both, just to let you guys know. All right. Thanks, guys. So that's all I really have for you guys. It's that simple. All it is you import in the AdMob, you hook up the stuff, you make sure interstitial ID, reward ID, and banner ID are correct. You hook up your metadata here that says what your application's ID is, so that when it goes and fetches up to Google's AdMob servers, it actually tells you what it is and stuff, or what, I guess, who it is, so it knows who to credit with the advertisement. And you just need to hook up your callbacks, your signal callbacks, so that way you can reward your player after watching your stuff. And finally, you can go ahead and show banners and reward videos and give them rewards. So that is all I have for you guys. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you dislike this video, go ahead and hit that dislike button, because I am here to make content for you guys and I want to know what you guys like. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.